Hi everyone, Caro here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to another daily tarot reading. So this is our fourth time, I think. We have started around 27th of November. We did our first reading for the 27th, 28th. We have performed the reading for the 29th and 30th of November. We have performed one reading for the 1st and the 2nd of December, and now this is our fourth attempt to perform a reading for the December, to perform for daily concept readings, and now we are going to perform for the 3rd and the 4th of December. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to perform a love reading today. That's how I felt. So I felt doing. For this, yes, we have many decks as usual because we want to see the energy, how it plays out from different angles, and to see what is overlapping and what particular patterns or differences emerging. Now, I'm going to first find out the quality of our love connections, okay? So for the 3rd and the 4th of December, what can you say about the quality of our connections? Let's see. So the connection quality, let's explore it with 3 cards. Let's see. So we have the temptations, bleeding heart, and the dirty laundry. Wow, 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 look at that. Okay, what I'm getting from this is that one person or the people who are in this connection or relationship, I mean, there is this willingness to like speak out what has been hidden, hindering, or not revealed. So it's like the I think the temptation here is to evoke some kind of communication, so that dirty laundries, or dirty laundry, of course, here can be also what is hidden, what hasn't been addressed, what has been not cleared yet, right? So, you know, it's like one person saying that, you know, you got to wash your hands clean kind of thing. But I think this creates a kind of an ache in the other person, because they just want to leave the laundry as it is, like they don't want to touch it. Plus, it can be some exposure, like a person tempting the other for the exposure for the dirty laundry. So some private situations are in focus, and they are known to be like a dirty laundry, and it can be a person trying to tempt the other to speak it out, or to confess, to reveal. Of course, not in some kind of a tabloid press thing. It can be also something in our just ordinary lives, you know. So they are like bringing maybe some distress or embarrassment in the other person, okay? Of course, the bleeding heart may here indicate that still aching situation, so when that things arises, actually the temptation here can be also to cause that bleeding heart. I think around this time there can be, I don't know where the moon is, but the moon is can be in Virgo, maybe partly. Maybe the moon is somewhere between Leo or Virgo, not sure. But of course the Virgo energy, what is it? Clearing, right? Making it clean. So though collectively it can be also you know, in the collective energy, for instance, in tabloid press, you know, these people in tabloid news, people are bringing sometimes other people's pain and suffering by airing their dirty laundry as news, right? Of course, there is a lot of compound to that. It can be also something actually being revealed, and it may include affairs, of course. Also family secrets include something maybe around also friends, you know, so which has ties to that. It's a love reading. In the end we are doing a love reading, so they may have tendency to come out, let's say. Let me cover it in that way. Let me now see the emotional compound. What is the emotional compound in today's love relationships, connections? We have the divine love, we have the contentment, we have the spellbound. Also in the more let's say this is the sensational level, but in the emotional level, some of us I do feel like has so much love for something, maybe it's a bit not within reach, like we are so much in captivity of something, and it goes a bit like beyond us, and we feel so much content about this, like someone or something has our complete attention. We are like captivated by their magic. It can be also, for instance, a person is captivated by your magic, and you have their like whole attention. But this can be also the your attention on them. Here I see here one's feelings towards the other. The love goes to the extent that it may access it may arise from the five senses and may reach some kind of a divine love understanding, which is actually making one person to content. It's like a person who maybe it's like who feels like a spellbound actually. It's like we are so much amazed, so much bemused, and something makes us feel breathless, let's say. Very captivated we are towards this thing. And the archetype here comes as the siren. Of course, this is actually making a lot of sense. The sirens actually, it's very funny, you know. Last night I had a friend. I give my friend a coffee cup reading, And in the coffee cup reading, I saw the ship of Odysseus after the golden fleece, as it states in the mythology, you know, after the Trojan War in ancient mythology, Greek mythology, which is also influencing our astrological concept, of course. And I saw in my friend's coffee cup sirens actually trying to charm, like this, like in the mythology, navies, you know, sirens. They are actually they were luring sailors to destruction by their song, right? So here, though, the spellbound, the energy, if it comes from siren, there is one twist there, a plot twist in our story as well. In the plot twist of our love reading, we may like mix two things, like we may get trapped by a spellbound. So in this case, the siren here can be the temptation as well, right? Because sirens are tempting the sailors there. So they have this alluring voices. And but in the mythological story, of course, Odysseus, he saves his crew's lives. So, but why he does that? Because he was warned before. I think Kirke was warning him, or Calypso, couldn't remember now. But the thing is that you may be like warned towards something by a person, to be also careful maybe about another person. You know, sometimes you know, I for some reason, this is one of the most interesting situations I have witnessed in my life. That, for instance, my friend, let's say he was or she was into a person, and that person, let's say, the people who are close to that person was like, let's say, warning every time, like, you know, be careful about this person, guy or girl. They may not be as, I mean, they will take your heart, but will leave you with empty hands, kind of thing. So I think there can be like this guide or a person maybe giving you or someone like a heads up to not to be careful, to be careful about another. Because siren energy, of course, they are you know, they are symbol for the dangerous temptation in the mythological, let's say, scenery. So here we are, of course, you know, not likely to see sirens, but like it calls us for attention, and there is this mixture, something making you breathless, you feel like spellbound, and mixing it with the divine love, or it feels like something divine but can be a trap. Okay, like are we gonna see someone's like dirty laundry later, or are we about to see the reality of that spellbound that these are actually sirens, like something actually not seem as they are. So that's why we got to maybe the contentment energy is giving us that a bit caution to feel okay with what we have, and currently maybe not a good time to seek something beyond that. Okay, so this type of thing. But when this threshold is, let's say, maybe crossed, we may be also seeing a person's dirty laundry. But let me see the tarot story now. Now, the tarot story may not necessarily attach to this. It can be a compound in this whole narrative of these 2 days. But let's find out the tarot story. So the tarot energies, please. Okay. We have the Pentacle energy, Ten of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, the Strength, the Fortune, Six of Swords. Yes, Four of Coins. I think this is the contentment with the Six of Swords. Okay, so we have those still something going on there. We have still something going on there because of the nature of that two major arcanas, Brunhild and Danae. So what we have here, we have the Ten of Pentacles, Prince of Coins, so this is the Page of Pentacles, the Strength, the Fortune, Six of Swords, and I guess, yes, the Four of Pentacles. So there is also another mythological story here. Now, yes, Brunhild archetype with the Danae. So this guy was the Brunhild and Siegfried. So this guy was the favorite child of her father, and her father was Wotan. So in the mythology, her father was the divine ruler of the gods and goddesses. So she's betraying her father because she was moved by so she has this she is immortal, so she falls in love with a mortal, which is the Sigmund. So she understands the power of love. I mean, I said this. She betrayed. Of course, her father and the other gods and goddesses took her behavior as a betrayal. So I'm speaking from their perspective in the story. So she, like, to come against someone else's will, let's say, okay, to come against someone else's will, but she was moved by the power of love, and she go against her father's will. She agreed to help the mortal Sigmund, and yes, and then she found her true love with Siegfried, and which is the son of the Sigmund. So I think I'm thinking, because here her move by she was moved by the mortal Sigmund's story of love, and she somehow then finds true love with his son. But was she spellbound? I mean, was she tempted? Maybe this is not this is, I think, maybe how to say, this is when it stays in the shadow. But here the idea is, I mean, in the end, sirens, right, gonna kill the navies. But in this story, she's somehow finding true love, so she's not thrown into like a trap. So there is a difference there, and through this maybe it's about reaching that divine understanding of love, but there is a differentiation, let's say. So something is being transformed into strength. The Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, I think this is some kind of a kingdom. So there is something, or a comfort, a group, tribe, family, status, you know, let's say one person belongs, and they are given some Page of Pentacles, like resources. They are inherited, like born like this. But it's like from that comfort that we were, let's say, weaved into, someone long time hasn't been moved by anything in their life, but finally discovering something moves you, maybe here, an art piece, a story, again, maybe a past, you know, quotation, or some addressing to the past. You somehow want to go after that person, that image, or that thing. Though we are ending up with Six of Swords and Four of Pentacles, in the end, she is not getting the spellbound, but I think here someone is still with the image of someone. I mean, in this story, yes, there is someone is definitely moved by something. Actually, that makes sense in a time when also Venus is conjunct with the South Node in Libra. Now it's coming to me, because this particular thing is fated. We have the Wheel of Fortune here, Danae's story, Danae and Zeus. So this is something fated, like what we are drawn outside of our comfort zone. By the way, this may even, like, for instance, maybe telling a story in a closed environment, like people's families, for instance, see each other, and this can be also that. But then the Danae and Zeus happens, so a chance, something, let's say, fated in the traditional sense, brings some expansion. So the Danae, in this case, borns with a she's with actually a curse, and it is told to her that her offspring would kill a king, and when she comes to the certain age, she was walled by this king, like a bronze tower, and but Zeus loves her, and Zeus, of course, almost like in everywhere, Zeus and his love stories are very famous, and they make a son, by the way. So she's giving also birth to Perseus, and this type of thing, like actually here again, like someone being captured or feeling captured. I think here Zeus is not immortal. So sorry, Zeus is not mortal, he is immortal, he's a god in the end. But here the princess goes after the immortal. Now I think maybe the story here again, there's a plot twist. That's why here somehow we may, I think the idea is like this: we may be we may want to reciprocate love with a person who is maybe not willing to reciprocate as much, or can't, or not able to do that. You know, sometimes there is this saying, this person is like out of your league, they say. This person is out of your league. You need to find someone who can really appreciate you, love you, right? Praise you. And maybe here the idea is like there is the twist is like you want to go after something or someone, you have this spellbound, but then realizing maybe even the love is true between you and them, but it's not, let's say, practical. Well, in the story it's more practical with Zeus. Well, yes, you are not gonna have a Zeus, or gentlemen will have Aphrodite, or gentlemen have another gentleman, or ladies have another lady, of course, depends on where you are coming from there. But the thing that in this channel we are respectful for every choice. So something feels to us, yeah, it's like this idea, what is real? Some kind of maybe seeking some kind of love which is not going to lead you astray, and making you rather content with what you have. Not going after some kind of a tale which does not have an end or beginning, you know, but to choose to stay or to accept like someone's love towards you, and actually finding meaning through that. It can be, you know, this type of concepts can come for sure. Of course, this may translate to many things, but with both, you know, the because mythology has an influence on the collective consciousness of people. So that's why, and if cards are bringing some symbology, of course, they do not necessarily have to cover exactly our real life situations, but if we can talk about somewhat symbols are at play, as above so below, right? If we can talk, we can, you know, understand the dynamics, what is actually brought to the mixture. So I think here there are two choices. A person has two choices of love, because for Odysseus, absolutely, it's not going to be Siren. yes, this princess here thinks that she finds true love, but it doesn't feel, maybe it doesn't happen, and it's like accepting actually a person's love that they already have for you, and in this way not to let astray, you know, something in that nature. I want to also get, what I want to get is in the end, you want to be with someone in your league, right? Not out of your league. There needs to be some type of equanimity there, to not for keeping you grounded. Oh, another clearing. So anchor is the place, is our stability. The broom here cleans the room. The stork, there is a home here, right? The settlement, the home, like this Four of Pentacles, this dwelling, this place, clearing the dwelling, anchor. So in love relationships then, at times, yes, a person may lead to a courageous, adventurous love. At times, one goes beyond their limits, but in today's love energy, we are with who we wanna, let's say, settled with, okay? Or what is really, yes, we may get a lot of temptations, we may be led by something which can give that call, but in the end, it's about like choosing to maybe clear out things. Sometimes, you know, it's that in the Four of Pentacles, actually, there can be this energy in terms of love. Four of Pentacles can be also when a person actually let's say gets that in the Four of Cups, in the Four of Pentacles, it's that idea of one person looking for something outside of their partnership or marriage, led by with someone, but then finding out that that story is not going to happen for them. A person actually trying to awaken in a new sense of selves, and in an unstable relationship, and but then it's like maybe someone is also back to their setting, their dwelling, after maybe a lot of, yes, Odyssey going on there. Maybe we have the broom, we talk about the Virgo energy clearing. We had the dirty laundry, clearing the dirty laundry maybe, okay? Or it's not the attempt of clearance just, but it comes out, so it is bound to be cleaned in the end. By coming out, that dirty laundry is going to be cleaned because it's going to be exposed. Or someone attempts to find love which is not fitting maybe to the some kind of a scenery, you know. By the way, these love readings, they do not have a right or wrong, okay? So we are here revealing everyday situations that people may go through, because we are bound to bring those energies out. So we don't have some kind of a we may have choices, priorities, decisions, standards, but there is no some type of you know, moral or immoral point in the stories. Everyone's moral is their thing. But of course, when you come to me, of course, if you get a reading, I will tell you the guidance here, what is actually being brought. So here we are finding then a person, I think, is like getting settled, like with what they have, with what they have. Maybe realizing that it was a spellbound. Yeah, it's maybe it's some kind of a threshold in a relationship with a lot of upside down. Finally finding a fresh room, for instance. This can be also another thing. Well, I think I have covered the messages here in potential, with their potential directions here. Someone can also have, by the way, the story may also be like, you know, we are at the tip of a change. Are we gonna go for that change, or are we gonna settle? But change here is like not choosing one, but choosing like a different life totally. It can be. This can be also, I think, another thing here. Yes. So it's not about the love context will be there, absolutely. So we may be subjected to some choices, but we may also, to choose love is going to be choose what type of a love life we will actually follow. So in the end, it may come down to actually making a complete choice, and in this choice a person may choose none as well, but just thinking about how to change their life, because something here can shake about our stability. Okay, this can be also another thing. So, is there anything, I'm looking at the cards, is there anything I can say? This is I think, a slow transformation in our understanding of our love relationships. It's like we are sure that something will definitely change and transform itself, as it is always, but the divine love energy here, that transcendental feeling which makes the soul feel actually spellbound to the divine, and that oneness and all that unity, this is what is actually we are driven with. There is a longing here, actually, a person like coming from a permanent residence with a place, but actually longing for to have a maybe something permanent, like, and they are like in between and focusing on these transitions in between the permanent things. For some of you, there can be also this, if you have some kind of a routine, for instance, in a relationship, okay, so this routine of your everyday life with this in this love relationship, for instance, if you are partnered, you may see you want to make some significant changes with this person in your routines, for instance, or in your everyday life. Let's find the most fitting thing for our relationship or connection. what your inner nature wants to follow, what my inner nature wants to follow, in what type of activity can give us a new groundedness but also can change our routine together, for instance. And I think we're gonna realize what makes a love connections not changing, if what dynamic comes and how it can change. Maybe here there is someone is actually looking for a connection outside of their partnerships. That's why the temptation, dirty laundry, spellbound, you know, someone led by the true love, power of love, they think, but then they actually choose the secure connection. Okay, so these stories, it seems, will come. I think, you know, I'm now exceed my limits with the cards, because I think I have brought the situation from any possible angle to present you, but I'm sure you get this reading. Yes, the dynamics playing out. So thank you so much, dear friends, for joining me in this today's loves reading. Tomorrow, if you want, we can do again one more love reading, but maybe we can do also a general reading. We will see, okay? And I hope you find it insightful. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next day. Bye for now.